Hi, my name is Jo Rogers and I'm from Navistar Legal. When I was working in private practice, I thought that I was really commercial because I read the Financial Times. Then I went in-house and I knew that I was commercial because we were working with low value contracts and deciding no contract was needed, or working on one-page agreements, and I thought I'm super commercial. But when I started working with proper entrepreneurs, all of that went out of the window. It was a total reality check. The concept of commerciality took on a whole new meaning. You had to agree things in quicker time with lower value, lower costs being able to be agreed, and with a higher risk often. But you do it because these are guys that really need that support. Usually the idea was, we'll work it out later. And after years of working with hundreds of business owners, I now understand that you have to be comfortable with a high level of risk. I call this your personal attitude to risk. So explain it very simply to business owners as a scale of 1 to 16. 1, well, when I was working in the corporate world, I had an attitude of risk of number 1. I had a salary, 3 months notice, my only investments were ISAs. I didn't really do much more than that, and I had a very low attitude to risk. I was very risk averse. But the most I learned was when I worked with a 16. He would just throw caution to the wind. He did everything without any advice, and he'd ask for permission afterwards. His whole attitude was, just do it and we'll see what worked. Oh, Jo, I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably shouldn't have done that. But he was totally willing to fail and to get into a little bit of trouble as long as it wasn't criminal. That is totally not my style, but he always knew and had faith that it would always work out. He knew that he would never push it too far and go over the boundaries. And when I worked with him, I had to stretch myself into those realms. So instead of being a 6 to 8 as I would see myself now, I might go to a 10 or a 12. And then sometimes I would bring him right down to a 3 or a 6 where things were really important. But this ability to be able to move along the scale was a really important experience for me. It allowed me to get out of my comfort zone, for one. It allowed me to have real understanding of the business world. And it also, just in working with him as a trusted advisor, I knew that I was working in true partnership with this client. And it allowed me to truly stand by his decisions in business, knowing that we could kind of always find a real life solution to the problems that were coming up. And this supported me all the time in negotiation and persuasion skills. It gave me a great baptism of fire, even if sometimes I felt that I didn't enjoy it. It was deeply uncomfortable. If lawyers want to get to the C-suite, if we want to get on the board, if we want to be truly trusted advisors, then we have to be able to stretch and move between the scale of 1 to 16. When we only work with corporates, when we only work within a limited amount of risk, with little desire to do anything differently, and with that kind of attitude of this is the way we've always done things, then there's a very low perspective of the risk spectrum. And we stay in that comfort zone and can't really grow. You'll always be able to advise as a lawyer from that end. That's what most people want from a lawyer. But to be truly commercial and to be able to step into an entrepreneurial role and sit on a board, it requires confidence, it requires certainty, and it definitely requires experience working with these types of people and this level of the spectrum. It requires an ability to step outside your comfort zone. So I want you to think of somebody that takes more risks than you do. Can you spend some time with them? Maybe ask them questions about how they make decisions. Get some opportunity to be able to step into decisions with them at this end of the scale, even if it's just in the 6 to 8 region. And 6 to 8 is, I'm willing not to dot every I and cross every T. Where can you be a non-exec director? Where can you add that experience to your career and act as that trusted advisor in business? Not as a lawyer, as a non-lawyer, and push that level of discomfort of agreeing things that aren't perfect and don't sit in this box. It definitely helps to find somebody who is at this end of the spectrum for that. So if you do manage to find somebody, share and post your experiences below down in the comment box, Or let us know if you've managed to get an experience working as a non-exec director or another trusted advisor role. Really interested to hear your experiences. Enjoy stretching your comfort zone and enjoy our next set of videos.